good. I have tried so many different flavors of the Cheesecake Factory, and I hope they sponsor me. It's gonna be a good, yeah.
Oh, good. Andy Hearn, we got to get this man a sponsorship over the Cheesecake Factory. Nishan, congratulations. Can't wait to see you back.
Yeah, thank you so much. And last thing I want to say, my best friend Zaquin Moses, his birthday today. I would like to say happy birthday, Zay. And this victory obviously goes for your birthday. And from back India, I want everyone to be shout out to him in his inbox and blast his inbox to wish him a very happy birthday and a good luck in his life.
You got it. Guys, thank you so much, Chris. Zaquin Moses, they put the candles in the cheesecake. We can go to the Cheesecake Factory and celebrate.
I think he's going to have a sponsorship coming his way. Because the only thing more impressive than that performance and that speech is that set of hair, Harry. I mean, look, he didn't even move. The man did not get punched. He did not get touched. Kept that range. Even though Guerra did land a nice jab right there, he came back, stayed off the ropes. It's changing, but I was impressed with the way he was turning his punches, turning his opponent, not letting the more aggressive fighter get on the inside, not ignoring the body. And ultimately, it was that left hand. The legs betrayed Guerra, and from there, it was only a matter of time for Dev to get the stoppage. And he's coming around nicely. They're moving him nicely, but I wanted to see this test. I wanted to see how he reacts in an 8th rounder, and we just saw it. We got him done in 2.
Nishan Dev had some tremendous sparring in preparation for this fight against the likes of Vito Melnicki and looked a whole lot more comfortable in the fire in those types of exchanges. Clearly that A-list sparring that he's been getting over the last couple of years paying dividends. Nishan Dev victorious in our opening contest. Listen, I just want some credit for my capital J journalism in there with the Cheesecake Factory. Let's take a look at the Coffee Box final punch stats here. A 50% connect percentage on Nishan Dev's power punches. Sergio, generally speaking, you're not going to lose a fight if you're landing at that clip.
And listen, you heard me use the word accuracy, right? There you have it, 50%. Anytime a fighter gets to the 50% mark or above that, you can tell that not only did he win the fight, but the game plan worked out, the strategy worked out, and he knows how to turn his punches on the inside and the outside. Nishan Dev had both.
Well, coming up next, it is the return of Freddie Rojas, another amateur standout looking for a breakthrough here tonight as he takes on Damian Sosa of Tijuana, Mexico. That's coming up next, right here on The Zone.
Fight Night on The Zone, brought to you by that prize.
If you had the choice, what prize would change your life?
Yes.
Woo! The competition's from as little as 5p per entry. What are you waiting for? You could be next to change your life with that prize tag.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform made for anyone with an idea and a drive to bring it to life. Describe what you want and watch it take shape. You can plan, customize, and expand in any direction. From tools built for one to platforms ready for many. From passion projects to enterprise-grade systems. Everything is built in and ready to launch. It's a new world of creation where you can go as far as your imagination takes you. Can you imagine it? Let's make your dream a reality right now.
Bet on the sports you love. Get up to £10 in free bets every week with the Zone Bet Boxing Club.
I can't shake them.
What are you doing?
We're proud to say it takes 386 Canadians to craft a can of pet
Well, there are other
like
ways to
Mickey.
get them.
On Vancouver Island, you catch
Take a
herring,
Red Bull and
flounder,
think of something.
and hake. A few
Well,
more Canadians
and
later,
now,
you've got the best
any
pet food in the
ideas?
world.
Yeah,
Thanks, Mickey.
I'll get the beaver.
Well, there you go.
Red Bull gives you wings.
So, my friend, are you having a good trip? I can charge loads for using my card abroad.
Really? I've got a Wise card. Oh, what? They don't charge crazy fees when I spend abroad.
Clever. I've been using my bank card. I'm going to have to ask these guys for a bit of a discount.
Oh, Magnuson, Freudis.
A smart current plan from Wise saves you up to 80% on fees when you spend abroad.
Oh, leave me alone. No.
Get Wise.
It's crucial meeting in Serie A. It is Como against Napoli. What a snap!
Lord, how do I get away from the damn dinosaur?
This evening.
What the hell? Oh my God! Keep all the way.
Don't miss Benavidez versus Zerto in a cruiserweight showdown for the crown on Saturday, May 2nd, only on DAZN.
I
really don't feel comfortable letting a girl.
Won't. The rules of the tournament are simple. Our fate would be decided by combat.
Yo, I got a girl coming over, buddy. Took like an hour cab to get here. Plus we got the boxing. Plus we got a couple drinks. It's gonna be funny, buddy.
Where do you want me to go? I can only fucking in the gas, bro. What do you want?
Hilarious.
The expanded FIFA World Cup 2026 kicks off June 11th at the iconic
a girl that I used to go to school with, man. A girl I used to go to school with. We banged way back, like probably 10 years ago. And now she's single or whatever, and we've always been good friends, and we're talking.
And DAZN 48 brings you closer than ever. 48 creators delivering the tournament through a whole new lens.
Hey, you. She's a pretty girl, man.
Wanna do this? We'll wrap this.
She's had, hey, yo, when you see her, you won't believe it. Like, she's gonna be on camera here. She's had 5 kids. 5 kids. Look at her for 5 kids. She looks great. 5 kids. And all her tubes are tied, I believe.
That's the final whistle.
To find out how you can be a part of DAZN 48, go to DAZN.com/DAZN 48.
There are so many exciting moments ahead for DAZN subscribers on the pitch. But for now, it's time to shift focus back to the squared circle and get you set for undefeated.
We've always been like best friends.
Rojas
We just
taking on Damian, Samurai
I don't know,
Sosa.
just things happened, you know? She always liked me and I always liked her. We always got along. She's a cool girl. You're going to like her. She's super friendly. I don't know if she'll come on camera, but we'll try. But,
And we take a look back at yesterday's weigh-in. Freddie Rojas and Damian Sosa. Freddie Rojas.
it'd be funny
Chris
if she
Mannix, a
does.
guy
She made
we've
it.
heard about for a long time, but has kind of been stuck in stretches of inactivity for a long time as well.
Yeah, you got a clean win a year
We're thinking about going downtown maybe for a beer. Maybe go shoot some pool or something, go downtown. Like, it's still early. It's only, she'll be here in another 20 minutes.
Contemplated retirement, but those that have seen him in the ring say that skill level is there. You can see the size, the length. Some of his fights, he's barely lost a round in any of these fights. He has been dominating.
Less than half an hour.
He's hoping to put on the kind of impressive performance that will get Matchroom interested.
How do I look? Do I look all right?
Top fights in this weight class.
And he'll be taking on Damian Sosa in this
I look
one,
all right?
who many fans would have seen against Xander Zayas.
Come on, I need you as a bro. Help me out, bro. Do I look
in
bad?
that fight, Sergio. And tonight we'll have a chance to score an upset in this one.
Yeah, he went the distance with now champion Xander Zayas, so that's a feather in his cap. He's never been stopped. This is a guy in Damian Sosa, tough Mexican TJ fighter. I'm curious to see how he handles, a tall southpaw like Rojas. He's gonna have to make it ugly and dirty and physical in there because Rojas.
She's a sweetheart, man. Like, really, and she's funny. Like, she's very witty. Very witty. If she comes on here, she might crack you a joke. She'll make you laugh.
Of the tape, Freddie Rojas and Damian Sosa. You see the measurables in favor of Freddie Rojas. That 6'2" frame.
I said, when you get here, you're giving me a big hug, and she's like, okay.
7-year-old looks to remain undefeated here tonight.
Do you want me to show you a picture of her?
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Fountain Blue of Las Vegas, Nevada, live on DAZN, we are now set to go with a special super welterweight attraction. Set to make his ring walk, please welcome Damian Samurai Sosa.
Tijuana's Damian Sosa had some A-list mentorship early in his career that has guided his mentality throughout his 29 pro fights. Jaime Munguia, his fellow Tijuana native, was one of the first pros to take him under his wing. And a few years later, Sosa was employed as a sparring partner for Canelo Alvarez, who told him to not give up on his dream, no matter what. And although Sosa has taken losses to the likes of Xander Zayas and Artem Oganesian, he's also bounced back with gutsy performances like his Fight of the Year contender against Marcus Valle. Tonight, he hopes to bring that unbreakable self-belief to the table as he hopes to score the biggest win of his career.
And now entering the arena, please welcome the undefeated man from Las Vegas, Freudis, one-way Rojas.
Much like his opponent tonight, Freddie Rojas has had to battle setbacks and frustration to remain on his chosen path, albeit in a much different way. Rojas was a standout amateur in the U.S. system, a bronze medalist at Worlds, and one win away from an Olympic spot. But Rojas has watched as many of his contemporaries have worked their way into the world title picture as he struggled to remain busy fighting tonight for the second time in 2 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Fountain Blue of Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, live on DAZN, we are set to go with our next bout of the evening, and it's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing in association with Samson Boxing and Toscano Promotions. Introducing your 3 judges scoring this contest from ringside: Kermit Bayless, Glenn Feldman, and Steve Weisfeld. And at the sound of the belt, their third man in the ring, referee Robert Hoyle. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 10 rounds of boxing scheduled in the super welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he wears the white with the red lettering. He's scaled 152.5 pounds. His professional record, 26 victories, 3 defeats, with 13 wins coming by way of knockout. Peleando desde Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico, Damian Samurai Sosa. And his opponent across the ring fighting out of the blue corner. He wears the white with gold. He scaled 153 pounds, bang on. His professional record, perfect. 15 fights, 15 victories, with 11 of them coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Ladies and gentlemen, the undefeated Freudis, one-way Rojas.
Okay, I went over the rules in the dressing room. All punches that land here are going to be good for you. All punches that land here are going to be good for you. Touch them up, scoot back.
So a potential transformative night for this man, Freddie Rojas, and he'll do it in the shadow of the hotel room where he and his family once lived at Flamingo in Boulder, not too far from here. Tonight taking on Damian Sosa, coming off a 378-day layoff, and I'm sure not looking to waste any time here in the early going. Round 1, this one's scheduled for 10.
I think from Sosa, what I want to see early on is physicality. You guys brought up the fight he had against Xander Zayas. I was at that fight in New York. I thought his strategy was all wrong that night. I mean, he tried to outbox Xander Zayas from the outside. He was never going to win a fight like that. I feel kind of similar about this fight. I think Rojas is a much better boxer than Sosa. But Sosa's big, strong, physical. If he can get on the inside, mix it up, I think that gives him the best chance to win.
Yeah, I think we're looking for the Marcus Valle version of Damian Sosa here tonight, and at least in the early going here, so he's a little bit heavier on that front foot, trying to apply pressure on Freddie Rojas, who said that's what he expects all night, but in particular thinks that he's going to find a left uppercut to the body, a step-back uppercut that you love, Sergio.
Yeah, the majority of his knockouts are to the body. So for a fighter that's a southpaw and 6'2", normally you want to stay on the outside and catch that left hand right there. But the thing about Rojas, and this is what I like about him, he does like mixing it up. He's half Cuban, half Mexican, so maybe the Mexican side is why he loves the body shot so much. But this is what we want to see on the Cuban side, sticking behind that jab, keeping the fight in the middle of the ring, staying off the ropes, and being sharp. I want to see head movement from Rojas. When I study him, it was just, that's the only thing that I can criticize right now. He drops that lead right hand and he keeps his head in the line of fire. You know, whenever he starts dealing with fighters that are tricky, just like Sosa, they can make him pay for that.
See that long lead hand of Rojas. Able to get full extension on his shots here in the early going.
It'll serve Sosa right if he can punch with Rojas, because Rojas drops that lead right hand a lot. So if he can come back and punch in between the shot, punch with him, that's how you can catch him off guard. And Sosa has that in his arsenal.
And you timed him a moment ago there. Rojas lunging into the body. Sosa comes over the top with that sweeping right hand that he looked for right there, but back comes Rojas with a sharp left hand.
Yeah, Sosa eating some shots. This is already a much better version of him than I saw last time out.
Good right hook there by Sosa.
30 seconds here of the opening round. Left hands continue to rain in here from Freddie Rojas. Turns the corner and just rejects Sosa's efforts to battle on the inside. Rojas said he might do a little bit of that in this fight, but primarily wants to be doing that, stepping back and landing sharp shots. Good opening round here for Freddie Rojas. Time! Thank you.
See Rojas on the outside, and here's what I'm talking about. No head movement. His head's right in the line of fire. With a veteran like Sosa, he can't time you. He's going to get closer and closer. So Rojas going to have to be sharp and disciplined and really on his P's and Q's in order for him not get hit on the chin.
Round two begins. Freddie Rojas looking very relaxed here thus far. We talked about after his win over Diego Sanchez on Showtime in 2023 that he blacked out during his ring walk, and he was so anxious, so nervous. The Freddie Rojas that was in front of us during fighter meetings, Chris, seemed like a fighter who was kind of filled with gratitude, but there were times when he didn't think he would be fighting at all.
Yeah, a lot of stops and starts over the last year for Freddie Rojas. Was working kind of within that PBC system for a while, and they got a couple of calls, but nothing really came to fruition. Then the months start to pile up, and as he was telling us, start to really wonder if this is the right career path for you. So you had some questions, and fortunately for him, now he gets a big opportunity. Though if I'm Sosa in this fight, I want to keep that pressure on. Like Sergio Rojas this week had the sunglasses on all week long. I always take notice of that when guys do that. If you look at the physique, he's not exactly the most cut guy standing in the ring. If I'm Sosa, I'm keeping this pressure on. Maybe it'll pay off in the later rounds.
What threw you off about the sunglasses?
I mean, when guys are wearing sunglasses, sometimes it tells me that they're having trouble making weight. The eyes get a little bit sunken. Guys that are having trouble making weight often wear sunglasses all the time.
Yeah, you know what? That can be the case, and we're going to find out the later this fight goes. It's a 10-round fight, and if he is weight trained or struggling with weight, we'll see it by the 5th round. But right now, he's still on top. Damian Sosa still on top of Rojas, and that's what he's going to have to do. He's going to have to take some shots in order to get in and dig that body, just like that.
And Sosa's having a lot more success here in the second round. A couple of sweeping shots up top. There's that body shot that Rojas said specifically he's looking for here tonight.
Yeah, Kay Karoma in the corner had the right advice. Hey, you got to stop dropping that left hand when you're pulling out there. You got to keep that hand up if it's coming over the top with that sweeping right.
That's a bad habit that's going to be hard to shake. He's already had it for a long time.
Hard right hand there from Sosa. Response here from Rojas. Certainly don't want to let a guy like Sosa, a pressure fighter who really builds upon momentum. You want to stop that momentum when you get the opportunity, and this is a good response here from Rojas.
That's the thing. Fighters like this, like Sosa, they're not going to win some of these early rounds. Like, if you're able to move and you've got a higher level of skill, you're going to win them. It's when we get to 4, 5, and 6 is when you see if any of that pressure is going to pay off.
And he's already taken the body shots of Rojas pretty well. Rojas landing some good left hands. There's another one that one partially blocked, but anytime you can take a good punch to the chin, that a lot of Mexicans have good chins, but down to the body, that's also impressive. I think Sosa's taking him downstairs pretty nice.
10 seconds, 10 segundos.
I want to see more jabs from Rojas. That's how you control aggression. Popping that jab, keeping that pull off you.
Let's take a look back at Thursday's initial press conference here. Jesse Bam Rodriguez will be back in action, the pound-for-pound great, taking on Antonio Vargas, moving up to 118 pounds. Guys, you got to be excited about this one.
Very excited. I mean, I love the decision by Bam Rodriguez as he waits to see the outcome of the Garcia-Maloney fight for that last piece, the 115-pound title. He's not doing just a typical title defense. He's looking to become a 3-division world champion, moving up in weight, taking on a good fighter in Vargas. I think this is going to be a firefight in Glendale.
Saturday, June 13th, live here on the Zone.
More jabs and more body shots is what they're asking in the corner of Rojas. And that is what he's reliable on. He can use that jab. And once you get an over-aggressive fighter like Sosa, run him into that liver shot with that left hand.
Rojas firing that shot to the body already here in the early going. There does seem to be a trigger, though, Sergio, from Sosa. When he does go to the body, Sosa's trying to come over the top right away, trying to capitalize on what you've been pointing out. There is a little bit of a lack of head.
Yeah, that's what I would be doing if I was Rojas. I would be popping that jab downstairs as well. That's how you stop a guy from coming forward on the front foot so much. You stab him downstairs to the body. I haven't seen that from Rojas. Sosa, you just need to loop your shots. When you're dealing with a fighter that pulls his head back, you got to punch where the head's going to be at, not where it's at.
Oh, body shot again there. Freddie Rojas looked for that big looping left hand. Lucky for Sosa, he got out of the way of that one.
Stop! Here we go, let him out. Okay, watch the head, let's go.
For a fighter that had a lot of amateur success, like Freddie Rojas, over 200 fights in the Olympic trials, he doesn't have the polished punches that you want to see so far. He makes a lot of mistakes in his technique. He gets away with it because of his height, but he needs to fix that. He needs to nip that in the butt.
A good straight left hand there a moment ago from Rojas.
Another one right down the pipe there a moment ago.
Rojas is a pretty interesting guy. Did 4 years in culinary school while he was coming up the ranks as a boxer. Currently 1 year away from getting his degree and becoming a registered nurse as well. So there's a lot going on in the world of Freddie Rojas.
And in Damian Sosa, who runs a pet accessory shop with his wife. A couple of talented guys in the ring.
Not a competition, Corey.
A nurse, a chef, and a fighter in Freddie Rojas. That's a hell of a trifecta.
They're trading leather right here. Exchange of goods, so to speak, on the inside.
Stop! Then you see Rojas, trying to clinch, trying to back up. Sosa, I don't know if he felt the power or the strength of Sosa, but punching is an art as well. You got to do it where you're not desperate. It doesn't look like you're hanging out for dear life.
Good little short shot there from Sosa as well.
Sosa at times maneuvering Rojas a little bit closer to the ropes. This is better work here from Rojas. Turning the corner.
And Rojas also needs to step to the right a lot more. Put that right foot on the outside of the left foot of Sosa. That's how you control an aggressive fighter as well. Nice pivot, but he's still in the line of fire there for Sosa.
Battle left hook on that pivot as we head back to the corners.
You gotta let both hands go. Come on, both hands go downstairs. left hand. He's going to go to the opposite side. So you got to step over his foot, or else he's going to keep sneaking out that way. And you got to move your waist. Nice straight left hand right there, not followed up by a right hook. I would love to have seen him sweep up with that right hook, but Rojas was content with that left hand. Sosa took that well.
Yeah, kind of admired his work there. Threw that straight left hand, backed off. I'm with you, though. Would love to have seen a combination after that straight shot.
Back to action here. Freddie Rojas and Damian Sosa, round 4 of 10. That is Rojas continuing to stab away to the body of Damian Sosa. Trying to make this constant pressure pay off at some point. That third round started to look a lot more like the kind of fight we assume Sosa would want. The messier this starts to look like, the better for him.
Got physical in that third round. If you look at some of the power numbers, 33 power punches landed apiece through the first 3 rounds. So this is a very competitive fight.
Sosa's a solid fighter. You know, when I was studying him, his fundamentals are tight. You know, like I said, doesn't stop, takes a good shot, and he stays within himself. You know, he knows what he has. He's a talented fighter, but he knows that he knows that he doesn't have the speed and the big power, the quick feet. Stays within his talent and his means, and I think that's what serves him well.
Oh, he's a gatekeeper, and I don't say that disparagingly. It's just that when you get a high-level guy, good body shot there from Rojas, get a high-level guy, they're probably going to beat him in the same way that Xander Zayas did. But, you know, Marquez Valle, he beat Sosa, beat him. Abel Nina, Angel Beltran, these are good fighters that Sosa was able to beat. If you're not on a certain level, this guy's good enough to beat you.
Fate, watch the fate.
Yeah, he's landing some good. Excuse me, Rojas is landing some good body shots, straight left hand.
It has been consistent. You have to wonder if at some point that will play a factor in this fight too. Will it start to slow down the legs of Damian Sosa?
Let him go, Freddie. Let him go. Let him go. Work out. Work out. Let him go. Let him go. There you go. Step back. Work out.
Rojas looking up at the clock.
Here the referee telling Rojas to work his way out. Rojas, I think, wisely holding a little bit more here on the inside, provided he doesn't get penalized.
Let's go.
Well, that's what I mean by, you know, clinching is an art. You got to do it to where you're clinching enough to stop the attack, but then letting go where it doesn't look desperate, where you need the right break, where you actually don't want to engage, and that's where the referee has to, you know, balance that out. And Rojas needs to balance that out too.
This is what Sosa needs to do. He needs to make this a physical fight. When it's at the mid-range, that left hand of Rojas is a missile. He's got to stay out of that mid-range. He's pushing them against the ropes, throwing combinations. That's where he's having the most success.
It's going to be a long night for Rojas. I mean, it's not even the 4th round, and 10 rounds is an eternity. And the thing about Sosa wants to get in those dog rounds, and he's getting closer and closer, breaking that distance and getting Rojas against the ropes.
It's counter left hand on his way in there from Damian Sosa. No sneaking in heavy shot.
10 seconds. DX are going
to left hook again. He's catching Rojas on the exit. Good action here in the 4th. Good shot there by Rojas. From Rojas. The Tokyo Dome is sold out as 55,000 roar for the biggest fight in Japanese history. Next Saturday, May 2nd, the monster, Naoya Inoue, puts his undisputed crown on the line against his toughest test yet, the undefeated southpaw power of Junto Nakatani. 2 pound-for-pound icons, one historic night, live on DAZN. And then later that night, the other monster, David Benavidez, steps up to face Zurdo Ramirez for his Cruiserweight World titles here in Vegas in the first Mexico versus Mexico World Championship matchup to ever take place above 168. It's Cinco de Mayo weekend. It's live here on DAZN as part of your ultimate package.
Sergio, is it true that The Contender was widely watched in Japan?
It was watched in Japan, but I think it was more popular in the UK, and believe it or not, in India as well.
Of course you know that.
That contender. Yeah, no, I know my demographic, man.
Are you going to slide on the knee shot, Devo?
Oh, good shot. Sosa just caught him with a good shot, and Rojas took that well.
Sosa's been landing these sneaky counter left hooks, these sweeping right hands over the top. His best work is, again, when he can get in here.
I don't like the way Rojas is reacting to the pressure of Sosa. He's been caught with some good shots in this round. And this is where that Mexican style, that bravado, that relentlessness, catches up on fighters that aren't ready for that. It catches them off guard.
Well, you know what? Rojas kind of alluded to this a little bit in fighter meetings as well. When we were talking about his style, he said, listen, it's simplistic, guys. Stick to the basics. What we're seeing here tonight is when it gets more improvisational. When he has to find things to do here on the inside, it's Sosa who's thinking faster and battering him right now.
I was battering him from the southpaw stance now. Sosa squaring up, not caring about what's coming back and just digging and picking and pecking. Good body shot by Sosa.
Good work here from Sosa as he backs Rojas up.
If I'm Sosa, I'm keep digging that body. You know you've got a fighter starting to fatigue right in front of you. Keep digging downstairs. Keep him immobile.
Rojas busted open. Blood coming from the nose of Freddie Rojas, who might be starting to erode under the Damian Sosa pressure.
And this is what I wanted to see. I didn't know what we had with Freddie Rojas. He was charming, he was charismatic in the fighter interviews. He said all the right things, but can he fight? When it gets to the dog rounds, can he be a dog himself?
I think he can fight, but I also think that the layoffs between these two guys, they impacted Freddie Rojas more than they impacted Damian Sosa.
No, he can box. Can he fight? That's a big difference. That's what I want to see.
Good uppercuts on the inside here from Sosa. And unless Rojas can make some radical changes in recovery, he may have no choice but to fight the rest of the way.
I don't see it, guys.
Oh, what a left hook there from Sosa. Rojas nearly being driven through the ropes. The all-out assault of Damian Sosa.
And he's doing these subtle little shifts as well to get angles. Smart, clever pressure fighter, Damian Sosa. What a round.
The reason why he got that is because I got him. You gotta keep it in front of him. That's why he's doing that. Okay. When you get on that rope, don't put your head down. Have your head so you can see the punch that he's throwing.
Damian Sosa mauling Rojas in this fight with uppercuts and subtle shifts. Anytime Rojas wanted to get away, he just closed that distance once again. There's that little subtle shift to get an angle. Even squared up, digging through to the body and coming upstairs with an uppercut. Clever shots like that, right on the money with that left hook, that 45-degree uppercut punch. Damian Sosa, he's just going to start off where he ended in that last round. You can bet that.
Round 6 underway. We framed this about Damian Sosa during his ring walk. It's a story of unbreakable self-belief. And you look even at this fight. First 3 rounds, he's getting popped by these long-range left hands. But 2 rounds later, he has completely transformed this fight.
Stop. Freddie, come on. Por favor. Thank you.
And there you go. There's more clinching, and this is when the points start getting deducted. He's been doing that from the first round because he's been clinching too obvious. He's clinching a little bit too much, looking a little bit too desperate, looking for that break.
Better work here from Freddie Rojas. He saw him turn the corner and a good sharp left hand. Take a look at the copy box totals from round 5. 86 power punches thrown by Damian Sosa, 38 of them landing.
It feels like every shot that Damian Sosa is throwing is a power punch. Not many jabs coming from Sosa.
Yeah, everything's consistent. You know, he's not alternating speed and power. Everything's the same way. He's not loading up, but he's not taking it easy either. So that's how Mexican fighters train. Everything comes at a certain flow to their attack. And little by little, no matter how talented and fast you are, you start breaking down to that. If you're not accustomed to fighting out
hard
the
body shot
fighters.
there from Sosa. Will that be a knockdown? Yes, it will.
5, 6,
Rojas
7,
looking a little bit surprised
8.
by that.
You're good, right?
There was a shot that landed.
I got you. We'll review it.
And Rojas is saying it's slip. You hear the referee noting what you can do here in Nevada. That can be reviewed. Jay Nady, who's in charge of referees, former referee himself, is reviewing that right now. Sosa's reacting as if that knockdown was as real as it gets. He is all over Rojas again.
Without a jab, Freddie Rojas is not going to keep this duel off him. He needs to keep sparing him with that jab. Of course, getting out of the ring. He's been doing that nicely, going back to the middle of the ring. But Sosa just have way too much confidence.
Big left hook there from Sosa. He brings an uppercut immediately behind it. Final 20 seconds of round 6, and Sosa is pouring it on once again.
This ain't going to last too much longer. The body language is not there from Freddie Rojas. Still looking up at the clock, looking at his corner. He can't keep this monster off him.
Hard body shots again from Sosa as we head back to the corners. And this will be an interesting conversation.
Look, you gotta stop retreating from this guy so much. You gotta stand your ground. When you get close, you gotta hold him sometimes. Okay?
Hey man, you got everyone watching you. What are you doing? Let's go. Your fans are here, your family's here.
And there you see the shot that was ruled a knockdown. Jay Nady just looked at him over on the other side of the ring, saying, yes, that was a legitimate knockdown. And I think what Jay Nady was seeing, Sergio, was the body shot first that pushed him up against the ropes. Maybe there was a bit of a shove at the end, but I think they're interpreting it that he was on the way down when that shove took place.
He was getting broken down to the body from the beginning of the round, and that was just the end result. So it was a good call by the ref.
Sosa just sprinting across the ring right now, and he lands a big right hand immediately. He is picking up right where he left off at the end of round 6.
If you're not jamming and using your distance and your height advantage, 6 inches is almost 6 inches in height for Ross, but he can't use that height and that reach.
Good body shot there from Sosa.
In addition to these body shots, Sergio, we've talked about it a lot before, it's a lot more exhausting to retreat from this kind of pressure than it is to apply it.
Oh, absolutely. If you're not catching and countering those body shots, you're only going to get suffocated by this type of pressure because it's relentless by Sosa.
There's nothing elegant about what Damian Sosa is doing in the ring right now. This is just pure, unrelenting pressure that is digging down to the body.
Rojas maybe trying to guard against these body shots, leaning over, but now he's eating hooks and uppercuts like that. Rojas trying to fire back.
And a bit of a grimace from the referee after watching some of these shots. Keep an eye on them in these moments.
Stop! He's getting suffocated by pressure and power, and there's no counters, there's no reaction, there's nothing that Rojas can do to keep Sosa off him. And that's the reason the concerned look on the face of the referee. He's not seeing nothing punch back.
If he's slugging it out like this with Sosa, he is fighting Sosa's fight. This is not how Freddie Rojas fights. He is an off-the-jab fighter, uses size, uses length, fight from the outside. He's doing exactly what Sosa wants him to do.
Rojas is showing hard here tonight, but he just can't find the artillery to keep Sosa off of it.
Just barely missed a big right hand of Sosa. He digs the body, but never forgets to come upstairs. Breaking him down to the ribs or going around the guard to catch that chin. And that chin is exposed. by Rojas.
Sergio, you see the body language of Rojas. Like he's just hunched over, which tells me that midsection has been softened up.
And you look at the face of Rojas as well, splattered with blood, the swelling intensifying. As the intensity of Damian Sosa just does not turn down.
And even when Rojas lands shots like that, Sosa just walks right through them.
Rojas trying anything he can to get Sosa off of him. This is a gutsy effort, but Sosa just will not tire.
What an engine on Damian Sosa, man. Just non-stop.
Stop stepping your head like that. You can catch it with the left right there coming in, but after you throw the left, throw a double on it and come with the right up. But get back to your box and stop panicking and get on the ropes. Okay? You can't have him get on the ropes. Deep breath. Drink some water, my brother. Drink. Come on. Breathe. Hey, you gotta believe in yourself. Come on, man. You gotta start working inside. Look, one inside, grab,
Even when Sosa's getting hit, coming in, just non-stop. No respect for the power or the punches of Rojas. That was a punishing round, a bloody punishing round for Rojas, and a lot of concern in the corner of Freddie Rojas right there. The referee looking at him. Round 8.
Referee was watching that corner exchange very intently. And I think Rojas' corner was aware of that. And they didn't say anything about, hey, how are you feeling? They were just giving instructions to make sure they didn't give the referee any additional fuel to stop this fight, because Damian Sosa is giving them a lot of reasons to do it.
You can see the gas tank of Rojas emptying every 20 or 30 seconds of each of these rounds, starting off with some mobility, but invariably he gets into a fight in the phone booth. There's some of the power shots that were landed. 39 power punches landed by Sosa in that last round, just 12 for Rojas.
101 of them thrown at 154 pounds. Sergio, that's Alfredo Angulo type numbers.
You stole words out of my mouth. I was about to say, this reminds me of Alfredo Angulo, man, I know well. He's relentless with those heavy hands. He just smothers you with power and attack, and it's just a matter of time before you submit.
Credit again to Freddie Rojas, who has not been willing to submit. The question is, will his body make that choice for him? Because Damian Sosa is pouring it on the same way he has been since the opening bout.
Once again, you see Rojas trapped against the ropes, fighting in that phone booth.
Rojas is hunched over, and despite kind of falling into a pattern of Rojas going from corner to corner, until Sosa finds that moment when he can unload.
And Sosa isn't even that good at cutting the ring off. He's just following him into the corner, and once he gets him pressed there, he's letting his hands go.
Because he has no respect for anything that Rojas is throwing. The only thing I would like to see from Sosa is to double up his shots. You know, getting in the rhythm of left, right, that actually can work against you, because the fighter gets accustomed to your power and the punches that are coming in the same direction with the same rhythm. Doubling up your shots, tripling up your shots on one side breaks that monotony.
Good body work there from Sosa a moment ago. I think Rojas felt those. Uppercut still coming through the middle from Sosa. Rojas
10 seconds,
just often enough to stay in this fight. But the visuals are not looking great.
Time!
Beautiful night for boxing. boxing here in Las Vegas, Nevada at the gorgeous Fontainebleau. Our main event between Jerome Miller and Lenier Perro still to come.
Hey, she's here, man.
Back inside the arena, still 2 to go in what has been a fun one between Freddie Rojas and Damian Sosa.
Gotta get that damn 5 kids out of here. That comment. Make a comment. Make a comment. Hello. Here.
Lose a round. That's it. You gotta keep fighting. Don't give any distance. Break that distance. We gotta win this freaking fight. That way they can
Show my lady friend over here, buddy. Live boxing.
Win this freaking fight, and I'm being honest with the freaking there.
Hey, those are the words of a coach of a gatekeeper. Smart words from the corner of a gatekeeper. Knowing
Get that out of here.
We
Get
gotta
that
win
damn
this
5
round. We
kids
gotta
out
win
of
this
your
fight,
comments.
because we do. That's how we get the next one.
You got it, absolutely. And that's what these tough unknown Mexicans wait for. They wait for that phone call to make an impression.
Hey, we gotta find that fighting. Where is the fight? God damn, the fucking PS4 died. Everybody loves pussy. Hey. Who's getting pussy tonight? Me. We got boxing on. Miller versus Perro.
Just the rest, you can just see the kind of the power bar on him wear down.
Yeah, he's been showing guts.
Oh, this is the bet on.
Guts doesn't win rounds or fights. He does well in the beginning of rounds, but then it's just he either gives up trying to win the round, or he takes the round out. The fight beats beaten out of him, pretty much. Sosa is just that relentless. Just in front of you, always has a physical pressure and presence.
Hard right hand to the body again from Sosa.
Rojas didn't like those body shots right there. You can see that he sucked in those elbows extra tight. I thought this fight was going to be over 4 rounds ago, I'll be honest with you. Just judging off the body language of Freddie Rojas, but he's still here in the ninth.
This is just otherworldly punch from Sosa.
Eyes swollen, nose bloody, ribs hurting, but Freddie Rojas is still trying to make it out. 10 seconds, dance to go though.
Shots coming back from Rojas. There's not a lot left on them, but he is still trying. An admirable effort here from Rojas. In the face of what I imagine is a lot of fatigue and a lot of pain right now.
It's the last round coming up. Last round coming up.
Come on, man. You gotta bite down, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Stop shooting it back.
Punching around the guard. No catching, no countering from Rojas. He's just trying to evade the shots. And whenever you're getting thrown 4, 5, 6 punch combinations, you can't block every shot. You can't duck every shot. You have to catch and counter. You have to move laterally. You have to use the entire ring. If you're Freddie Rojas, he's not doing that, and that's the reason Sosa's just mowing him down.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 10th.
Come on, Freddie.
Final round.
Oh, you're gonna
10th and final round. You heard the respect between both men there, justifiably. Damian Sosa potentially 3 minutes away from the biggest win of his career. We talked about it early in this fight. For Sosa to win this one, we needed the version that we saw against Marcus Valle. That's the one who's shown up here tonight.
Those are the straight shots that we need to see from Rojas. But then once he gets on the inside, he doesn't continue the attack on the inside. You got to pick him up with uppercuts, get on the outside, and go back to the long shots.
Some of the best work from Rojas in a little while.
Yes, it is, and he always starts the round off good. But then Sosa does what he does. Breaks that distance, gets on the inside, and starts pounding on those ribs.
Hard right hand got caught there from Sosa a moment ago. An uppercut, nice reply there from Freddie Rojas. Good left hook there from Sosa. Rojas absorbing an unbelievable amount of punishment here tonight. Especially off a near 400-day layoff. And he is fighting until the bitter end.
Good shot by Freddie Rojas. Kind of a solid 1-2, big left hand. But this is what inactivity does. No matter how youthful you are, no matter how good and talented you are, that activity just, it wears you down, man. That rust builds up. It's just the worst for a young fighter.
Good work through the middle here from Rojas. Look at his right eye, that swelling, intensifying. He eats another uppercut here from Sosa, who comes around the guard again with a left hook. There's all these power shots. You can't call punches fast enough with Damian Sosa.
No, you just got to hear them and enjoy them because it's nonstop. It's a bus of punches for Damian Sosa. Nice little angle that he tried to get there. Sosa trying to flank Freddie Rojas.
Sure, after 400 days, Freddie Rojas didn't want to walk right into the wood chipper.
10 seconds. He has to go down.
But he has walked right into the Samurai's blade all night long. A gutsy effort. But Damian Sosa might have just scored the biggest win of his life.
You know, if this goes against Freddie Rojas, he is going to be doomed by the fact that he just couldn't win the second part of each of these rounds. Most of these rounds, he started off pretty well, moved well, sticking with the jab, straight left hand, but the final 90 seconds of almost every round, it seemed like was controlled by Sosa.
And you could see that, you know, that Damian Sosa's going for that knockout. He said it right now in Spanish. I tried to knock him out, I just didn't get it. But you can see that he had to go through fire himself. His face is swollen. You got to credit Rojas. I mean, he really tried to fight him off. He was just in there with somebody that was too much. I mean, they call him the Samurai, but that was a pit bull performance by Damian Sosa.
Heavyweights collide. Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois had an extremely intense face-off during their official launch press conference in London this week. The two British heavyweights are scheduled to collide for Wardley's WBO World Heavyweight title on May 9th at the Co-op Live Arena in Manchester, live here on DAZN. These two men look like they've just gone through a heavyweight slugfest as well. An incredibly entertaining battle. As Sosa pulled the upset. Let's find out as we hand it back to David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of action here in Las Vegas, we go to the judges' score totals, and they read as follows. Kermit Bayless, Glenn Feldman, and Steve Weisfeld, all three scored this bout identically, 96-93 for your winner by unanimous decision. De Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico, Damian Samurai Sosa.
Well, Damian Sosa does indeed score the upset. The biggest win of his career, the 27th win of his career. Heard the scores, 96-93 across the board. You also heard the names of the judges, some of the best, including Steve Weisfeld. Sergio, felt like they got that one right.
Absolutely, they got it right. And they also gave credit to Rojas. I mean, 96-93 and three scorecards, and they got it right. This was just a physical buzzsaw, and Damian Sosa got the job done, and that's what he had to do. He had to go through some fire. He got hit. He even got hit with some body shots. I was impressed the way he was able to take those body shots by a heavy-handed puncher in Rojas. See shots like that. Early in the fight, Rojas was fighting his fight. He was boxing, he was sticking, he was moving, but little by little, Sosa got the timing down. He started breaking that range. He stopped caring about what was coming at him because he had no respect for the power of Rojas, and it was just non-stop. Knockdown right there by accumulation of body shots. And that was just punch after punch, hook after hook, everything around the guard of the tall southpaw, and a much-deserved win by that man right there, elated in victory.
Heard Sosa's corner tell him earlier in the fight, hey, you got to win so we can get another phone call. He most certainly will. You definitely want to see that on your TV.
This is where you're always hanging out. Oh my God! Right by the screen.
From Belfast, the pocket rocket, ladies and gentlemen, Wayne McCarthy.
Let's get the volume.